Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to journey into a pretty ancient system of thought, one that connects the stars to our very bodies. We're going to explore how one constellation, in particular, just might hold the key to understanding that balance deep within ourselves.
For thousands of years, people have looked up at the sky and asked this one profound question. Is the map of the stars also a map of ourselves? Could there really be a connection between what's happening up there in the heavens and what's happening right down here in our own bodies?
So, to even begin to answer that, we've got to look at an idea that actually shaped medicine and philosophy for centuries, and that's this concept of the body as its own little cosmos.
Right at the heart of this whole belief system, there's this incredible image. It's called the Homo Signorum, or, the Zodiac Man. And this wasn't just some piece of art. No way. It was a diagnostic tool, a map that people believed showed exactly how the 12 constellations governed every part of the human body. Literally, from your head to your toes.
The whole philosophy behind it was actually pretty elegant and kind of simple. The idea was that each one of us is a microcosm, like a tiny universe in miniature. And our physical health? Well, that was seen as being totally linked to the movements of the macrocosm, the planets and stars way up above.
Okay, so let's take this big, vast concept and really bring it into focus. We're going to do that by looking at how it all applies to just one specific astrological sign, Libra, the scales.
So in this system, Libra is known as an airy sign. What that means is it influences our mental, our intellectual side. It's called a cardinal sign, which is all about initiating action, getting things started. And that combination, it perfectly explains its core purpose. As the scales, Libra really represents that delicate balancing act, that point where our material lives start to turn towards the spiritual.
Okay, so if the body is a cosmos, then you have to wonder, what part of our actual physical selves do the scales hold in balance?
Well, according to this ancient map, Libra governs the lower back, the hips, and the kidneys. Now, just think about that for a second. These are the exact parts of our body responsible for physical balance, for equilibrium, and for filtration. So Libra is, quite literally, the body's center of balance. A strain there, it might just be a physical sign of a much deeper imbalance.
But to really get Libra's constant drive for balance, we have to look at its planetary ruler. That's where things get really interesting.
So, in astrology, every sign has a ruling planet, and for Libra, that's Venus. And this is the key. Venus isn't really about physical balance, it's about relational harmony. We're talking love, attraction, and all those values that pull us together.
And a great way to understand Venus is to put it side by side with its counterpart, Mars. You see, where Mars is all about that raw desire that pulls spirit down into the material world, Venus is what happens when that same desire is transformed into love. It's not looking for a fight, it's looking for harmony. It doesn't want conquest, it wants connection.
And you know what? This ancient focus on union and harmony, we see a direct echo of it in some of the modern astrological tools that are designed to help us navigate our relationships.
Take, for example, a modern tool called the Lover's Report. It's described as a reading that explores your compatibility with someone by getting into the nitty-gritty of how you relate to a partner. It just goes to show you, this quest to understand connection through the stars, it's still very much alive and well.
And this really brings the whole idea full circle, right? Libra's core is all about balance and unions. Its ruler Venus is all about love and values. So it makes perfect sense that modern tools, like a love and values forecast, are basically direct descendants of this ancient wisdom. They're just examining that same Venetian influence on our modern relationships.
So, that leaves us with one final thought to ponder. If this ancient system is right, if the balance in our bodies is really connected to the balance in our hearts, then you have to ask yourself, where, in your own life, do your scales tip?